Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. Marathon meeting last night. It did drag on. I shouldn't really say drag on. It did go on. So here's a general overview, not every single thing, because I can barely even remember what happened. But the school superintendent came in and gave an overview of the proposed school project. They are currently estimating that project to be approximately $44.8 million. There's going to be a lot more information about this in the coming weeks, including what the tax rate and bill impact would be on the average taxpayer. I think right now it's estimated at approximately between $200 and $300, but don't hold me to that. That's vague off the top of my head coming off a Marathon Selectmen's meeting. In any event, I think around $300. So there was some discussion about the cost per square foot. Why does it seem so expensive? That's an all-in cost with design, owner's project manager, which is a requirement, prevailing wage, which has to be dealt with under mass procurement laws.
Is
all
it
of that.
unusual to
I don't. Also,
price?
they say it's comparable to what schools off island are going for per square foot. I mean, there's
Why
a
did
lot.
Bobby do cost have
Well, I
such
think
a
it's a
problem?
big number. It's a very big number, and he probably might not know what the other schools are. But when also, I don't think he knew it was all in. So it was explained. But as he said, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do or reviewing to do by the school because it is such a huge number. It's one of the biggest capital projects we've ever done here. So anyway, there was some discussion about that. We introduced our new water quality biologist, Caitlin Shaw. She started work last week, so we're very happy to have her.
Oh, good.
Yep.
We'll do a little show with her.
We'll do a little show with her. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
The town's bond rating just went up last week. Woo! This is a big deal.
Why?
Well, kind of a big deal.
Why?
Well, it means our bonds can sell at better rates for us.
What does that do? What does that
It helps our debt service overall. And our credit bond rating.
So we can borrow money easily
Well, yes.
if we need to?
Yes.
At a lower rate?
Yeah.
Okay. But we don't do that, do we?
Well, we do that. We do that. And we're going to be doing that in the coming years with all the capital projects that we're going to be doing. So it's good. It's very good news. The bond rating was something called AA2. Now it is AA1. The next higher one, which I think might be the highest, is AAA. So we're shooting for AAA next. Anyway, AA1 is quite good.
Why is it that we're doing so well? Why
Well, I think a lot of reasons. The economy is good.
Yeah.
Our audits have gotten much better. We have been pretty fiscally responsible over the last few years. We have a lot of reserves, and we seem to manage our money pretty well, believe it or not. So anyway, that's good news. We had some license issues. There was what's called the junk dealer license, but really it's not, sort of a misnomer as they were talking about.
Well, it is junk
Who
dealer.
said, was it Bobby? One man's junk is another man's treasure?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is on 29 North Liberty where we had our HDC appeal last week. And there was an antiques shop there,
Yeah.
so now they're going to do this other shop. We had a discussion about an alteration of premises at Millie's inside, changing some seating to a bar. That got tabled.
But they are going to do the place out in, the junk place is going to happen.
The junk place got approved.
Got
Yes.
approved.
Yes.
Is that, I know there was a lot of controversy, and I mean, the neighbors were not happy about this.
No, they didn't seem to be. But there was a shop there before.
Is there any way that they can come back and appeal this? Or no?
Not, they'd have to go to court to do it.
Okay.
But the board did put some conditions on there.
Right.
Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6
Yeah.
only, no Sundays, and no stuff outside.
Right.
Can't put any stuff outside for sale. We also reviewed fiscal 16 enterprise fund budgets, airport, water, sewer, solid waste, island home. We talked a little bit about drainage along Baxter Road. I gave the board my monthly town admin activities report. And then we got to the warrant for 2015 annual town meeting. We have, I think at my last count, 112 articles. A little over 30 of them are zoning. The rest are annual budgetary, other financial, some bylaw amendments, some citizen articles, home rule petitions, real estate issues, that stuff. So the things that caused the most discussion were the zoning articles, because we had to go through them one by one because the board hadn't seen them in their entirety yet. So we went through all of those. We had some other articles. An article that did generate some discussion as well is an article pertaining to Mill Hill Park. Now, last week we had understood that the hospital pretty much had said they are going to do their project on their own site and would not need additional adjacent town land. However, I think the board's intent is to, for flexibility purposes and to kind of correct a citizen warrant article that relates to this, agreed to put in a legally written article. There are some hurdles that would have to be overcome in order for a portion of the land to be used for the hospital. And I believe if any of it is used, we're not talking about anywhere near all of it or even half of it, but there's special legislation that would require, because the land is classified as parkland, so you would have to have special legislation to be able to use the portion of it for something else, and you have to mitigate that land at another area. So the land identified for that is 1 Milestone Road, where the water company is, where the initial discussion was for the hospital to go. So there's going to be a lot more discussion about this, I anticipate, even based on last night's discussion. What else? I'm trying to think of what else the warrant had in it. It was long, and
Nothing that really, just routine?
there's a lot of routine stuff, and there are some maybe medium controversial items. So sometimes you don't know what's overly controversial till you get there. There's not too much chatter about it, and then all of a sudden, whoa. So we'll see about that. The warrant will be published in the newspaper next week. FinCom starts meeting they've been meeting about warrant articles and budgets. Their motions will be finalized at the beginning of March, and the warrant will get mailed out to all voters with the motions at the end of March. Not the end of March, middle of March. Next week, the board has a county commissioners meeting and a board of selectmen's meeting. County commissioners is doing the fiscal 16 budget, some other road takings and things like that. And the board primarily is going to be discussing the possibility of additional NRTA shuttle service, possibly year-round, additional service, extended service in the summer, late night. So I'm not sure how they're going to, I think the main
Late
idea...
night summer, or?
Yeah, late night summer.
Yeah.
I think the idea is to find out what these things would cost and then discuss where and how we would pay for them. NRTA is seeking funding for a feasibility study regarding year-round service, and I don't think we'd want to launch into year-round service without that, so we have some idea of what ridership might be. So this is all going to be discussed at the meeting. So, anything else jump out at you before you left early?
The storm that's coming, is there
Well, I only heard on the news this morning that there's a big storm coming. I hope it's not that big, but I don't know.
You've got to get out of here, though. You've got to
Yes, I'm trying to get to a conference. Not till tomorrow, though. It's always the way.
I love going off island, but I hate it when it's really rough.
Well, I know, it's always the way, and I hate it when it's windy and you have to fly to Boston.
Yeah.
I can't do it if it's very windy.
If it's too windy, you won't
It's
feel good.
not going to be good.
Yeah. Then you won't be ready for the conference.
I hope I don't embarrass them, but one time, myself, Paula Leary, and Tim Savarino, former selectman, had to go to Boston, and we were we all still, when we see each other, say, hey, remember that awful plane ride? Nightmare.
Oh, you know what you didn't talk about was the airport.
What about
They
it?
were there. They were.
Yeah, they were part of the enterprise fund budgets.
Oh, okay.
I probably didn't use their name. I forgot. Sorry.
All right. That's all right.
Do you know, it is Thursday morning. I'm muddled on Thursday mornings sometimes.
No, I did not know this.
You did not? Really? Sometimes don't ask me anything on Thursday morning. I'm.
Yeah, it's. You need
I'm going to get it wrong.
Well,
probably.
That was a long meeting.
It was a long meeting. Yeah. It won't be that long next week. So I guess that's it.
I guess so.
Okay, thanks very much. See you next time.